Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. There has been a ridiculous amount of news between yesterday and today, so we're going to dig in. So, I want to start off by making a statement. Anything that looks toward the future is a guess, right? Whether it's positive or negative, it's a guess, it's speculation. Just want to get that out there because a lot of people are thinking that sometimes people say something and they think it's going to be definitive. It's not. It's speculation about what they think is going to happen in the future. For example, I do not think we are going to get 3 rate cuts this year. I think that we are close to maybe getting 1. Maybe. A big maybe. And there are a lot of funds out there that actually believe the same thing, that, you know, a rate decrease, right? 1 might happen this year. Maybe. Absolutely maybe. But a lot of them are thinking, no, nothing's going to happen this year. We'll get them next year. I think we'll get at least 1. I think we'll get at least 1 rate decrease this year, for sure. Do I think that we're going to get that 1 decrease in July? No. I don't think so. I don't think it's going to happen in July. I think, you know, at best, maybe it'll happen in August, September, but I don't think it's going to happen in July. I think that's too soon. I don't think they have enough data to back that up, right? And that's kind of a thing. So you have PCE coming out this week, and that's going to be a big deal, right? And it's the personal consumption expenditure numbers that are coming out. And so when you look at that, it's, well, what are we doing? How much money are we spending? Is it a lot of money? Is it a little bit of money? All that good stuff. So there's a lot that's going to happen this week. The Fear and Greed Index is 72, but we'll get to the numbers in a minute. Let's cover some more news. More news. Solana approved. Well, let's get to the big news. We were shooting up yesterday. There are a few coins that are still shooting up, but we were shooting up as a whole market yesterday, and then it came to a crashing halt and actually dropped. Why is that? I mean, Bitcoin hit 70,600, and then plummeted. It's in the 67,000s right now. Why is that? Mt. Gox just moved $5 billion in Bitcoin ahead of when they said they're going to start paying creditors. That's big. Now, that being said, we still don't know if that's going to happen on the open market, if it's going to happen OTC. We don't know how any of these transfers are going to happen because they're not buying, they're giving back. You know what I mean? So I think the impact would be secondary. It would be, we're going to give you back your stuff and you're going to decide whether or not you want to sell it. Think about how many years ago Mt. Gox happened, and you sit there and you kind of go, how much money are people really going to get? Maybe they'll just get their Bitcoin or get their money, get into Bitcoin. So there's a lot of impact. But the macro event was that they moved $5 billion, which is a nice number, of Bitcoin. Sent the market tanking. Remember I told you, I was expecting the market to go up. It did. But if there was a macro event, positive or negative, there's going to be a huge decline. Well, here you go. Do I expect us to recover from this decline, fairly quickly? Yeah, I do. I absolutely do. So what am I doing? Yeah, that's right. I've got dry powder. I'm thinking about what I'm going to buy into. Am I buying into Ethereum or Solana or one of the meme coins or one of the other projects? Just what is it that I'm going to buy into? Haven't made that decision yet, but I'm probably going to try to buy into a few things now. Would one be Floki? Probably, because Floki's on the rise, but Floki is on the rise before a real bull run. And I'm holding some Floki from back then, so I might buy some more Floki because I did purchase some more Bonk and some more Dog with Hat, but Floki's the one that's taking off right now. So I'm expecting meme coins to take off a bit. Floki's got a new bot that they've launched in beta along Ethereum, Coinbase's Base network, and BNB chain by Binance. That's a big deal. They're testing out something big. And it makes me stop and say, wait a minute. Is Floki trying to move from being a meme coin to being a real coin? Is Floki the next Shiba Inu is the question. Wow. So yeah. Remember I told you a few days ago I had, during the last, dip, I had purchased some Floki. That's a big announcement. It's bigger than what people think. That's a big announcement. And that's a big move for Floki. Would I wait for a dip now versus, what it could be doing in a few months from now? I don't know that I'd wait. I mean, I might wait for a little bit of a pullback, but I don't know that it's going to be that big of a deal if you're looking toward the future and what it could also do. Just putting that out there for you. Former SEC Chair Jay Clayton says that the final approval of Ethereum spot ETFs is inevitable. And I'm sitting back and I'm looking at this guy and I just go, you think? You think? We shouldn't have had to go through all this to begin with. I think there were some maneuverings. I think there were some conversations, and Gary Gensler was told, hey, you're not going to win this one. Which makes me think, was this a backdoor approval by the current administration? Interesting. I think we'll see more as we go forward. I really do. I'm really paying attention to Fit 21. I think that could actually wind up being the game changer. And then, another shocker. Vanguard has filed for some new funds, and some of the language in those funds kind of give a hint that, maybe they could be considering some digital assets. Now, Vanguard has held close that they're not going to get into digital assets. However, they never said they wouldn't invest in companies that are dealing in digital assets. They hold a lot of MicroStrategy, a lot, as in they're the biggest holder of MicroStrategy. So, are they the biggest? They're one of the biggest. They own BlackRock. They're definitely the largest holder of BlackRock. Like, they've got more BlackRock than BlackRock. So I'm just sitting back and I'm just saying to myself, well, so what does that all mean? Right? Like, what could that mean? Now, supposedly the new CEO coming in is saying, yeah, there's not going to be any change. Status quo, moving forward. Let's go. But are there whispers that they could be looking toward digital assets? And I think the only thing that we can do is sit back and wait. But we should watch how their money flows, because I think their money is flowing into companies and projects, into companies that invest in companies or invest in digital assets directly. I don't think their strategy, I really don't know that their strategy is going to change, but it was a very different kind of look with that filing, or with those filings. It's not one. Then you have Friend.tech. They're currently on Base, and it's possible they're looking to get off. They're willing to spend $200,000 for somebody that can tell them how they could get off of Base, where they can move to with the least amount of user disruption. What? Like, this is the first, large project that I know of that's looking to leave Base. And does that mean you're leaving Base and going to Ethereum, leaving Base and going to, directly to Ethereum, or leaving Base and going to Solana? Like, what are your options there, and what are you looking for? And the big question I have is why? That's what I want to know. Why? Maybe they're thinking there's going to be a lot of volatility, due to Ethereum, and I don't know. So I'm dying to find out why they think that's going to happen. Now, there's a Bank of England, not the one in England, the one in England, Arkansas, that has, I find this to be disgusting. They defrauded veterans. right? They took money from veterans, but never gave them what they were supposed to get. And they decided that, doing that was a $1.5 million fine. Why are they still in business is my question. They should be out of business. I just wanted to put that out there. I heard it, saw it, one of these regional bank kind of things, and I was just like completely disgusted by it. They should be out of business. Defrauding anybody, right? Defrauding anybody. But veterans? Nah. They should be out of business. They should have been shut down. They should have been shut down. People should be going to jail. Like, it shouldn't even be a question. The company admitted to this fraud, right? Hence, they're paying a fine. The fine isn't enough. I haven't heard about people going to jail yet. I hope I do hear about people going to jail. I'd like to see that bank under receivership. I mean, there's just a lot going on right there. A lot to unpack. Happier news. Chainlink. Chainlink is making moves. Chainlink is out there in consensus. And Chainlink has bumped up because of they were able to get in front of consensus and say, these are all the things that we've done, and there's more to come. Right? Being involved in a successful pilot with Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, the United States' largest clearinghouse, with JP Morgan and a couple other banks. The deal with Swift has paid back in so many ways to Chainlink. So many ways. These banks are now thinking that Chainlink is the best platform for them, the best, blockchain for them to tokenize assets, to bring that, to marry existing institutional investments with New World blockchain. And I'm just sitting there and I'm just going, I'm all about it. I've been telling people for a long time, pay attention to Chainlink, pay attention to Chainlink, pay attention to Chainlink. Over the past, week, it's gone from $14 to $18. I'm just saying. And still on the rise. Remember, Swift operates a network of over 11,000 banks. Not bank branches, 11,000 banks on a global scale. So that means Chainlink is being walked into, and I said this when they first mentioned that deal, I said this, they're walking Chainlink into all of those banks. It is so looking from a Chainlink perspective, that's an amazing thing. That's an amazing thing. However, from a Swift perspective, holy moly, it's got to be one of the best things they could have thought of. One of the best things they could have thought of. We know that, things are moving to blockchain. Money transfers are happening via blockchain. Swift is a big part of that, and they would have lost out to blockchain. This is how they remain relevant. Oh, yeah, you guys are going to do that? Okay, we can help you with that. Here's how we're going to help you with that. And so we're still in the mix. They were asleep at the helm for a while, and all of a sudden they woke up, and boom, they're about to corner the market on tokenization. I really think they're about to corner the market on tokenization. So the combination of Swift and Chainlink is amazing. Amazing. So for me, I'm like, yeah, I'm all in on Chainlink. I'm all in. Because we're looking at every couple of months, another bank, another bank, another bank, another bank. Oh, we're running a pilot over here. Oh, we're running a pilot over there. Next thing you know, we're going live. They're experiencing that level of success. That level of success. So imagine the sharing of that kind of data on the blockchain. Imagine settlements now happening in that fashion. The tie is right there. The tie between settlements and tokenization is right there. Wow. Wow. So between Chainlink, Polygon, and Stellar, I think that's the combination. I think that could wind up being the combination of the future. Other blockchains have been in the mix for a while, but it's highly possible that those take the lead in a major fashion. So I'm still paying attention to that. Still paying attention to that. If a single project, like Project Guardian with DBS, a single project of that size gets greenlit to become the norm, gets implemented fully, Project Guardian is still going on. If that happens and they say, oh, everything's greenlit, boom, done, Polygon is going to take the heck off. That's another one that I think is a part of the connective tissue in the Web3 space. That's going to be huge. That right there is going to be huge. So Polygon making, let's suppose Polygon only hits $1.40. That's 2 times where it's at right now, give or take. I think it's highly possible they could hit $1.40 easily. They already hit $1. So can they hit $2? Yeah, I think so. Can they give? Do I think that Polygon can give me a 2 to 3x? I think that's an easy thing, especially if you're thinking of all of the Ethereum spot ETFs happening. I think one ship rises, all ships rise within that ecosystem, but especially Polygon. I think especially Polygon. Now, to that end, with ETFs going live, let's suppose everything goes live in a couple of weeks. They get the final approval on these registrations. Boom, bam, boom, done. Okay, cool, great, that's awesome. They're expecting Grayscale to have about $10 million in outflows every day for a while. Do I see that? Yeah, you know what? I can kind of see how that works. But you want to know what Grayscale is doing that's really slick? And I told you about this a couple of days ago. Grayscale opened up a new ETF, a new, trust for Near. And the other one was, it's going to bother me that I can't remember off the top of my head. Let me do a search in my notes because I keep extraneous notes on this stuff. So it's Near Protocol, and how am I not finding it real quick? May 23rd. Anyway, I know it's Near Protocol, and there's another one. Maybe a space, and we'll find it. I'm back to where I was. And I just did this video telling you guys that, Grayscale introduced one for, Stacks. It was Stacks. Completely forgot about that. So yeah, Near and Stacks. So what they're doing is they're saying, we're identifying other things that could happen. Because what's the overall reason? What's the big reason why people want to get involved in ETFs and ETPs, those kinds of things? The reason why is because they want to operate in a regulated space. They want, access to crypto, but they don't want to join the wild, wild west side of it. So I'm starting to think of ETFs and ETPs as, I'm a little bit older, as AOL and cryptocurrencies, direct activity with them as being the World Wide Web. So it took people a long time to get away from the AOLs of the world and start going straight onto the World Wide Web. That's what I'm thinking. And by them calling out certain projects that, hey, this is next. Hey, this is next. I don't see anybody else doing that, but they're saying this is next. This is next. Very smart move. Very, very smart move, in my opinion. I definitely like that. Absolutely like that. And then we end with New York Attorney General saying, hey, look, listen, you just saw me get $2 billion from Genesis. I advise the rest of you to play by the rules. She's not playing games. She is absolutely not playing games. And I'm just sitting back and I'm just saying to myself, New York has some seriously strict rules. Seriously strict rules. They're not necessarily crypto friendly. But if they're going to make it easier for companies to work with New York State, I'm all for it. But I think they need to. I think New York State instead of making threats like that, they need to start making ideas like, hey, yeah, if you don't abide by the rules, we're going to come for you. However, here's how we can work with you. That's what I want to see. I want to see more of this talk, and I want to see more carrot and less stick. Like, yeah, the stick exists. We know this. But can we see more carrot first, please? And I can say that about a lot of states in the union, right? Texas, for one. I'd like to see a lot more carrot and a lot less stick. We know the stick is there. Whip the stick out when somebody gets out of line, when a project gets out of line. I'm all for it, all about it. But let's start helping these projects move in the right direction, which is why I keep talking about this company, Blueprint, that started by, I forgot his name, this law professor from Georgetown, saying, listen, we need a company that's going to help companies abide by compliance, abide by regulation. That's the company that they started. I'm all about that. All about that. Smart. We need more companies like that. Just saying. Anyway, you know what we should do? That's right. We should get into the numbers. So let's do it. Let me hide my notes. All right. So I got rid of not that one. I had already closed the screen. But PCE numbers come out this week. Those are the inflation numbers that the Fed is going to be paying attention to. A lot of how much are we spending, how much are we not spending, all that good stuff from a personal level. That's going to be big. Fear and Greed Index is at 72. DeFi Llama 132 billion. So kind of maintaining at that same level. Not bad. Coin is starting to recover a little bit. Right? I mean, look at that. It had dipped all the way down into the 67,000 range, and now it's on its way back up. That's good. That means people heard about the impact of Mt. Gox, and they're saying, oh, well, it's not going to be what people think it's going to be. It was an overreaction. It looks like people are starting to realize that it was an overreaction. So this is why we pay attention to what's going on in the news, what kind of macro events are going to hit. See the dip, because you can see the dip right here. You see that dip, and then you're not going to be able to call something like this. You're not going to be able to call the ultimate bottom. But can I get in here before it goes back up to here? See what I mean? The answer is yes. And if I do that, even if I got in here, look at where that is. That's still not the all-time high. I have to be all the way about right there, around there, to be at the all-time high. That's a nice distance, folks. That's a really nice distance. I would take that. I would definitely take that. I'd also be doing research on other coins like Link, like I told you. WIF is up like crazy high. Bonk is up. Floki's up. TIA is up. You have some projects that people are interested where they're really up. I'm surprised Bitcoin Cash isn't up more. I'm expecting it to come back. Ethereum has been holding its weight. Let's switch over to the numbers. Look at Ethereum. Ethereum has been holding itself. Yeah, it got close to 4,000, but really it jumped more than Bitcoin. It's outperforming Bitcoin over the past few days. How is that for crazy? I mean, heck, if you think about it, here, 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 and here. So over the past 90 days, over the whole thing outperformed Bitcoin. For a while, Bitcoin was outperforming Ethereum. But at those cutoffs, currently, Ethereum's outperforming Bitcoin. Again, what's the rhythm of the projects that you're interested in? What's the rhythm? Understand the rhythm. Understand what kind of news could affect them, both micro and macro. Start doing your research. You're not going to be able to do this across, the whole area, but you'd be able to pick out the sectors that you're involved in, the sectors that you're interested in, those kinds of things, and take a deeper dive. That might do you some good. Solana's starting to pick up. It's now doing better than Bitcoin year to date. How's that for interesting? Bitcoin did better at the 7-day mark, but at the 30-day mark, outperformed Bitcoin. At the 90-day mark, outperformed Bitcoin. Over the past 24 hours, outperformed Bitcoin. Don't sleep on certain projects, and do these kinds of comparisons as you start looking at the news and how crypto is moving and all these other things. Start to look at that. Start to pay attention to that. News first, then technical analysis is how I go about looking at this stuff. Right? Then, so that's Solana. XRP is not doing great, but I'm still holding a nice bag of XRP because I believe that it will. I believe it will do well. Doge is up big this year. That's a nice move for Doge. But is it where I really want it to be? It's at 16.7 now. No, not really. I think Doge has got a long way to go before it really tops out. I think Toncoin's got a long way to go before it tops out. Toncoin's doing a lot, and Notcoin is actually doing a lot for them. It's one of those clicky games. But I think Toncoin is going to do a lot. I think you're going to start to see more and more dApps hop on Toncoin to get at everybody that's on that captive audience on Telegram. Slick. Cardano, not doing anything, just hurting my feelings all year this year. Just hurting my feelings. It's down 22.5%. Hurting my feelings. That said, do I still believe in Cardano? In a major fashion, I believe in Cardano. I think they've got a lot of things that they're working on that if they release the news properly, the project can take off. So I'm just waiting. Shiba Inu got a lot of news going on, so I'm expecting the same thing. But something else I want you to notice is Shiba Inu and Avalanche are still battling back and forth. They're still battling back and forth. Because Shiba Inu just bunny hopped Avalanche, and you saw Avalanche bunny hop Shiba Inu, and both of them are ridiculously close to bunny hopping Cardano. So Cardano could see itself out of the top 10 in a major fashion very quickly. In the next couple of months, you could see them just totally drop Cardano. And let's not sleep on Chainlink, although it's $6 billion off. It's a greater than 50% jump. But with all of these wins that Chainlink has going on, imagine the trading volumes that are going to happen. Imagine the price jumps that we're going to see on Chainlink. So for me, you've got 1, 2, 3 different projects that could jump Cardano quickly, very quickly. Polkadot, right now it hasn't switched, but you can see where Polkadot should be 13 and Chainlink should be 14. But I think Chainlink is going to be on the move and Polkadot is going to be hurting. I think a long term, somebody just asked me the other day, what are my thoughts on Polkadot? I don't dislike the project. I just have no interest in the project. I have no interest whatsoever. I don't know why. Don't ask me. I just don't. It's just never been a project that you wanted to dive into. If I was looking at this project for somebody else and they said, oh, I'm holding some Polkadot, I'd be like, that's cool. Why? It's in the top 25 non-stable coins, right? If you remove all the stable coins and you take the top 25 coins, they're all some serious coins. They're all some serious coins. Even when you come down here and you say Pepe is at 19. That's a serious coin. Now, Pepe to me is moving more like Doge, and Floki to me is moving more like Shiba Inu. That's why I'm not really into Pepe right now. Like, I haven't heard anything from Pepe that tells me they're going to make a move to become a more real coin. I haven't seen that yet. But Floki's starting to make moves. That's got me interested. When you go down, what is it, in the 50s? Oh, now it's in the 40s. So when you look at 44 and 45 being Floki and Bonk, I can see them rising. I can see them making some bunny hops. I mean, because who are they going to hop? Now, hopping Stacks, I think Stacks is going to be doing some hopping too. So I can see those going up. Optimism has been killing me. Optimism is the only coin that I have that has not gone up. It's the only one that I have that has not done well at all. The rest of them they've been going up. They've been making me money. Optimism is just hurting my feelings. They need to stop that. Arweave is going up. I mean, you have a lot of projects within the top 25 that are just amazeballs. When you start looking at the top 50, you start going, wow. Now the field starts opening up to different areas of the Web3 space, right? AI, just different areas of what's going on. DPINs, decentralized physical infrastructure networks. So you've got a whole bunch of stuff going on in that space. And you just sit there and you just kind of go, holy moly. In the top 50, we can see some things going on. Right? And then you get all the way down. What number is it that you have to get to before you see things fall off the map in terms of, billion-dollar coins? Book of Meme is the last billion-dollar coin, I think. It's interesting. To me, it's all interesting. Sandbox used to be, ranked higher. They're not doing so hot. Can they be doing better in the future? I do think so. I think gaming is going to come back in a major way, and I like that. Anyway, this is ADJ on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I hope you have a good one. We've got some really big news coming this week. We're going to make the announcement this week. We're putting some finishing touches on it, and we might be the only platform that has this service. Yeah. This could be an exclusive for a minute. Anyway, we'll get back to you guys on that this week. I hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.